Hi guys, hope all is well. I'm gonna do a video just about what I'm seeing so far this week. Honestly, nothing really that amazing or that impressive. Um, First of all, checking out the dollar daily. We've been bearish. We are currently pushing and running up into this weekly sector point. And here, what I can do is I can take out the 50% of this range just to see if there is going to be any sort of reactions around here. Excuse me, but obviously we're bullish, so we should just be looking for this bullish continuation and momentum. We do have a slight 4-hour POI here, which we could potentially see price trade back into. I was looking to see if price is going to come back down here, but so far we have just been moving rather bullish. I don't really see any signs of anything stopping at this current point. So, excuse me, if anything crazy does happen, I will let everyone know. But for the time being, it is looking just like continuations. So NAS, we had a super bullish week last week, and we have now just almost come into this POI that I had. But more importantly, we have actually broke this high. So obviously now broken a high. This is just potentially looking for pullbacks and then continuations. First POI I'm going to look for is just in here. Second one is going to be following the mitigations of this. Because you can see this is where price broke structures. We tested, mitigated, broke higher, pulled back, mitigated, filled imbalance. We broke higher, but we never actually fully came and tested that zone again. So potential things that we could see, I was potentially looking for this area to get run, which it kind of has. Any kind of pull and run on liquidity. Looking for our fib retracement. That's looking quite nice potentially so far. I do want to see if price is just going to roll back over and start taking out some of these lows. But I do want to wait for a little bit more confirmation on some of these pairs. US 30 has been dying. Spoke about this of all of this accumulation that happened every video. I talk about this accumulation. Really and truly, I'm just waiting for this last kind of move back down on the daily to get met and see if we can get some sort of reactions. We do have a lot of liquidity and things resting here, so maybe could see something like this and see if we can get in on a move or even going in again. So that is what I'm going to be looking at for this coming time. Dropping it down on lower time frames, there was quite a few zones that I was looking for. We had a 30-minute POI right at the beginning of the week, missed it, and then we just continued and fell. That's fine, is what it is. I was looking yesterday off a 5-minute move to take this down. You can see we kind of came close when just after the news took place. We just wicked in that 50%, and then we did actually start pushing lower. So we didn't meet it. That's fine. We don't always meet targets and objectives and things. So again, I'm really just kind of looking for more continuations if there is any clean points to be looking for. But so far, nothing on US 30. AU has finally come down to our target down here. I am just looking for price to pull back down into this zone and potentially see if we can get some continuations. Realistically, price could come super deep, and we do potentially have a lower time frame POI down here, so we could actually see AU kind of drop off a significantly more before actually maybe doing something. Obviously, dollar is super bullish at the moment, so I do want to wait and see. We could maybe run into points of liquidity here. Let me just do my, where are we? This is cool. So maybe even potential pullbacks into this region. What do we have in here? Nothing of much too importance that I would really want to be looking for. We did sweep just little highs. We swept London open and we swept our London high, and then we caused our breaker structure. So from there, obviously you can see we've just been rather bearish. This is the last point where price could come to before giving us a retracement. But really and truly, I don't think we're going to get that. I think we're just going to have massive continuations. Euro pound. Euro pound was a really nice trade. I actually did miss an opportunity here, which is a bit of a shame, but that's fine. We had our low get run, which is nice. Our second POI was in fact off of this guy. 5-minute move in here would have been, my stop loss was actually just above my original entry. And this one should be all the way down to our final target. So about a 1 to 8. Really nice couple opportunities on Euro pound. Caught this one, didn't, and not in this one, unfortunately, but that's fine. That is what that is. But I do definitely want to see lower down targets on Euro pounds into, it's a daily zone. Yeah, into our daily zone to see if we can then maybe have a little bit of a push. But this is really going to say a lot what we do, what does happen. I do think potential final targets for us could be around the 86,000 zone, or at least into this daily opening balance. But everything so far has just been mooning and dying off. I did have a potential second POI, but if this one didn't get met, if we were just going to poke a little bit higher into this point, again, we didn't, that's fine. Doesn't mean that price could mitigate into this, have a run and then come down. That could be a possibility. But until something actually happens, I'm really just going to wait and see, and sit on my hands. Gold got taken out this last night, which is a shame. That's fine. Did have a trade on this before. I was looking, I had 2 opportunities or 2 trades. I had my first one, which was literally just at this low. And then I had a second one, which was a little bit of a weaker risk to reward, but it was just below this Asian low. My actual targets for these were anywhere into here or here, but this was actually one of my first targets that I was looking for. So this one got taken out. That's fine. We came in, we created some manipulation, and then price came up. We ran 220 pips, so it was only a 1 to 2, nothing crazy, but it's still better than something. Came back into this zone. I did have another trade on this, going in from last night. I thought we were going to have some sort of reactions. We did slightly, and we are reacting off of this zone. But if I'm going to be purely honest with you, I don't think anything amazing is going to happen on here. I don't really think anything that amazing is going to happen until Friday, to be honest with you. We are only in the London session, so we could very much well see price maybe kick up a bit of steam going to New York. But I am just really holding and waiting and kind of seeing what happens. Silver, I've been looking at a little bit. I was really originally looking for when price was around here. Actually, no, sorry, when price was going into Monday. We had this really nice breaker structure. We had demand, which was flipped. We had this high, which got run. This high got run. This was a mitigation of a 12-hour liquidity run, breaker structure, flip and supply of demand. So now when we were going into Monday, I did think we were going to have this run, and then we could have dived back down. So far, we haven't. We have been breaking structures, so maybe just continuations lower is what is going to be on the table. Final targets though, I am looking for this daily zone overall to get met, potentially looking for price to come back into 21,500 into the weekly, a really nice weekly point. Then I do want to see if we can actually finally go take a deeper run and come and take out some of these highs. Fib lining up nicely. So that is going to be a significant point for us. So any excuses to be shorting this at this current point is what I am looking for. Obviously, you can see I do potentially have a small setup on silver at the moment. We had demand, which mitigated. We kind of pushed and pumped higher. There was another zone in here. Price broke through it. Price came up. We mitigated kind of all of this zone area, and then we just started breaking lower and lower. But you can see where that first demand was created. We do have an imbalance. So what I did potentially want to see if price was going to give me a run and then continues lower. I am maybe just going to put a stop just above this high, just so it is protected. But I'm not looking too heavy at this trade. But so far that's literally all I've been looking for. I was going to look at some exotics, but in my opinion, nothing really too juicy. And sometimes it is what it is. Sometimes you do, and you will just have slower weeks in the market and things, which is fine. It happens. So it's kind of really all about just waiting for those nice opportunities to arise. So you can have a bit more of a clear understanding, you know. So if you guys got any questions, please let me know. Feel free to fire away. I'm sorry it wasn't the most interesting. But again, is what it is. This is when patient pays. So have a good Thursday. And if you guys got any questions, please let me know. All right.